Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to a new video. So in this short video, I'll be going through my calcific tendonitis recovery after 3.5 years. I can't actually believe it's been that long already since that video. Time does fly. And the goal is for me, with you guys, is for me to share my experience, let you know things that I've changed in my lifestyle, in my nutrition, in my training, that has, well, I've not had it come back. So I've been really, really lucky. I did get a lot of comments in my initial video, people saying that they weren't sure what kind of recovery they would have and what sort of treatment they would have. And I actually opted for at the time to let my body heal by itself. There was a treatment that was, I believe, this was going back 3.5 years now, like steroid injections in my neck and in my shoulder. I didn't want that. I hate needles. The second option was to have a treatment. It's called something like Borbotage or something. It's a really weird name. And it's essentially lots of little needles going into your shoulder to try and get rid of that calcium deposit. I was like, hell no. Option 3 was just to let my body recover. So I'm really glad I went for that. I know a lot of people have mentioned that they've gone for the treatment with the needles. I hope that if that's you, that you've had good success with it. But really the purpose of this video is just to very quickly go through the things that I've changed, the things that I haven't within my lifestyle. And my shoulder's been fit ever since. Luckily, I've not had any troubles. And I'm really glad it hasn't come back. And I'm quite lucky in that respect, because it was horrific. I've never had pain like that in my life. It's very, very painful. If you've had this before, I'm sure you can resonate with what I'm saying. So let's talk about nutrition first. And to be honest, not much has changed since having the calcific tendonitis. And even prior to that, I still eat a well-balanced diet. I still eat meat, carbohydrates and fats. Nothing's really changed in that front. The supplementation I have is still the same. I normally have just a protein shake, some omega-3s, a multivitamin, and some creatine as well to help me kind of build muscle. So that's not really changed really. Nutrition has just been something that I have kept the same kind of throughout my, my life. I guess if there are times when I want to just cut back a little bit of body fat, I'll just drop some carbs, or I'll just cut back on calories in general. But really, with regards to nutrition, nothing's really changed. I know there's been people talking about having some like apple cider vinegar to help get rid of the tendonitis, but I didn't go with that. I just stuck to my normal nutrition. So that's not really changed since then. With regards to exercise, that's changed massively. So before getting the injury, I would train, I guess 5 or 6 days a week. I would do weight training, and I would do very heavy stuff. So, I was training for strength. So my rep ranges were between kind of like 2 and 6 reps, and I would lift very, very heavy. And I have a feeling that had a big contribution towards kind of causing this injury in my shoulder, because there was constant tension in my neck. I used to lift very heavy reps. I used to do of like upright rows, which I now don't recommend, which causes a lot of impingement in the rotator cuff, which was what the physio mentioned at the time. And it just isn't, it's not healthy for the joints, that healthy. So the only thing I can say with training now is I still train 5-6 days a week, exercise. I still lift weights, but I just don't lift as heavy. So now I would go more towards the 6 to 12 rep range. And I think, this way, this is known as hypertrophy training, by the way, so to help you build muscle. And I guess I just don't feel as fatigued, and I've not had any neck issues like since changing my training. So that's something that if you are lifting weights, something for you to look at is, if you're doing more of a strength training, perhaps look to change things up and do more of a hypertrophy and just don't lift as heavy, but you can still lift lots of volume to help build muscle. And the other thing that's massively changed as well is every single session, whenever I'm training upper body, I will always do my rotator cuff exercises. And in case you're not sure, rotator cuff are the small groups of muscles in your shoulder that are responsible for kind of more stability and more for your posture and your alignment within the shoulder joint. So I literally spend 5 to 10 minutes every session when I'm training upper body, warming up those muscles to just help with the alignment and the posture. Now, I believe on my second video on episode 2 of the recovery series, I go through those exercises. It's a lot of like band work for the shoulder. So feel free to go and check that out after this video. But that's without a fail, you know, every time. And I just, since then, I've not had any issues at all. And I remember before when I was a little bit younger, I used to go in, maybe row for 5 minutes and then go and do some heavy lifting. And I have a feeling that was a contributing factor, definitely. So that's exercise-wise. With regards to lifestyle, the only thing that I read that I changed back then was that I used to sleep a lot on my front. I used to have a very flat pillow and I used to sleep on my front, and I read that that can put a lot of stress on your neck, because if you think having your hands up in your head like this, it just puts a lot of stress, you know, through your spine and on that one side where you're stretching. And since then, because I think of how I had to sleep when I could eventually sleep lying down, at first I was just sat up on the sofa. I remember reading that it's a lot healthier to sleep on your back, so I ditched the old pillow, I purchased a new one, and I just made the effort of making sure that I'm falling asleep on my back, and I think that really helped as well. I occasionally still turn and go on my sides and sometimes my front, but I wouldn't start sleeping on my front, which I think can cause you a lot of kind of neck and shoulder issues. Other than that, nothing else has changed. I think just making sure that your body is in a healthy kind of state really helps with stuff like this. To be fair, I've not had an x-ray or anything to see whether the actual deposit of calcium has left the shoulder. And other than that, you know, it's not come back and I've not had any niggles. So I've been really, really lucky. So I hope that has helped you out, and I just wanted to give you a very quick update 3.5 years later. And if something does flare up ever again, I will come back here just to kind of share my experience with you. So I hope this video has been helpful. As always, if you've got any comments, then please add them below and I will get back to you. I think it's important to share these experiences because hopefully this will help you out going forwards. And also, don't forget to like the video so that we help our friend, the algorithm, share it with more people so we can help out more people. Thank you guys for watching. See you soon.